Hey, what's happening everybody? This is Elite Kicks back with the weekly video. In today's video guys, we're going to be talking about the Travis Scott Black Phantom expected to be released on December 15th. Now, before we jump into today's video, I just want to sort of preview what we're going to be talking about today. It's going to be a handful of things. First and foremost, we are going to be talking about stock numbers. We're going to be talking about where to cop. With that guys, let's jump into today's video. So first and foremost, there's a lot of rumors about stock numbers. As high as 200,000 pairs, 300,000 pairs. Folks are out there saying that this could be the highest stocked Travis Scott that's ever been released. I just want to say two things to that. Even if it is the highest produced Travis Scott that's going to be released, please understand that the demand for this shoe will greatly exceed whatever supply Nike puts out there. So if it is 200,000, the demand is going to be probably close to 5 million plus. 5 million plus entries going for 200,000 pairs. Let me just tell you, it's going to be a tough drop. Next, I want to talk to you guys about where to cop the Travis Scott Black Phantom. First and foremost, there's going to be a lot of raffles. A decent amount of raffles. I don't want to say a lot, but a decent amount of raffles. You're talking about End Clothing, SNS. On my Discord, I have a dedicated channel just to raffles. And I have a dedicated channel just to this Travis Scott Black Phantom as well too, and I'll put all the information there as well. I'll try to get as much information on my IG as possible, but be sure to check out the Discord if you do want that exclusive information. Putting aside the raffles, the two biggest places where you're going to be able to cop the Travis Scott sneaker is going to be the Travis Scott website. So on the website, bots will eat. I'm just going to say it pretty straightforwardly. Yes, Travis Scott, his website does cancel bot orders, but there's a lot of bots that they don't cancel, and people end up with 10, 15, sometimes 20 pairs, and it's not that difficult. Now, if you are a manual user like myself, here's what I would suggest. Putting in one entry means you'll probably lose. You are going to have to put in multiple entries. Now, what does that mean? It means that you'll have to change your phone number. You'll have to change your email address. If they ask for an address, I would give your address, but then I would jig your address as well too. So for example, if you live in a standalone house, you can say your full address, and then you can say room 1, room 2, room 3, room 4. Just simply change the address. Try to change up as much as you can so that it feels like a different entry. Do that for as many phone numbers as you have, your mom, your siblings, your wife, your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles, anybody you can think of that is willing to give you their telephone number for this particular drop. Now the release itself, we don't know what time it's going to be, but what we do know is a few days before, usually Travis Scott starts building up the hype, and there'll be a password page coming up, and then it will drop, and then you'll have to go on, interrupt, and then take it from there. Usually it's open for about maybe 30 minutes to an hour, and at that point usually we get the invoices about an hour or so later after that. Now, to be honest with you, copying on the Travis Scott website is very, very difficult. I only know a handful of people who do it manually that have actually copped. Most of the folks that I do know have used a bot, and they've been able to enter it through a bot that just generates thousands and thousands. The next best place for everybody to cop is going to be the SNKRS app. SNKRS will have a good amount of stock. It is going to be a very difficult drop. We do not have a confirmed date for the Travis Scott Black Phantom dropping on the SNKRS app, but what we do know is that usually we'll see it first on the Travis Scott website, and then soon thereafter we will see it on the SNKRS app. Now, there was some information posted floating around Twitter, Instagram earlier today that there's going to be a shock drop next week in the EU for SNKRS. Now, what that generally means is that hopefully we will see it here in the United States soon after that as well, which is likely to be the case. Now, what are some tips that I can give you guys to copying this Travis Scott pair on the SNKRS app? So what we'll most likely see is a 10-minute draw. Now, what that means is that Nike, SNKRS, whatever you want to call them, will implement their highest form of bot protection. Anything you do that mimics a bot could get you filtered out. The way I would say it is this, and again, this is the way I analyze the situation. Again, I have no confirmation this is how SNKRS operates, but I do generally know how their algorithm works. I believe that the way SNKRS operates is they filter out bot entries, and then what's left over is where they pick the people to get the pairs. The hardest part is getting through that first stage to be filtered out. A lot of people, what they do is when the timer starts, they enter quickly. That means you have a high likelihood of being filtered out. You don't fill out basic information on your profile, like your size, your name. It's just basic stuff like that. You don't put a picture. You make it sound like this is sort of your backup account. You want to personalize your account, okay? The other third and most important thing, one of the things that I emphasize a lot in my Discord, and people struggle with this a lot because they don't think it through, is that you want to go for a consistent size. When you go for a size 10 and then a size 12 and a size 13, size 8, size 9, each time you do that, the algorithm logs your activity and says, wait a minute, you're going for a size 8, size 9, like who is this, right? What are you trying to do with this sneaker? Because keep in mind, sneakers, Nike has their algorithm set up to try to target resellers. Whether or not they're successful or not, you know, that's a question for a different day, but that's the purpose of it. So those are 3 key things to keep in mind for this drop. 1, don't enter immediately. 2, personalize your account. 3, go for a consistent size and try to do it before the drop. Go for a couple of sneakers, cancel a couple of orders, return a couple of shoes in the size you want to go for. Establish that size. If you don't have an established size and you just go for a size 11.5, your odds of hitting are very slim. By just following these basic tips, you will dramatically increase your chances to actually copying this Travis Scott pair, and hopefully a good number of people will hit. I'm hoping a large number of subscribers in my YouTube channel will hit. I'm hoping anybody who's listening to this, I'm sending good vibes your way. That is the video for today, guys. Next week's video, we're going to be talking about the eBay dunks, and I believe the date that was provided to me was December 17th. So we'll do a how to cop on that. With that, guys, this is Elite Kicks signing off. Take care, everybody.